Hello everyone, welcome back to the plot. It's another scorching day and we still haven't had any rain in Exeter. I've got my Factor 30 sun cream on, I've got a hat on my head and I'm just here to water the potatoes and maybe gather a few beans to take home. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you can see, the broad beans are finished, they're all over. So I'm going to strip these all out and collect all the beans and put the bean stalks in the compost bin. As you can probably hear, there's a lot of construction work going on next door. So yeah, I won't be talking through this, I'll just mount the camera up and I'll show you what I've got at the end. Hello everyone, back at the house right now, so I'm just going to do a quick little video on what I do with my broad beans once I've taken them all from the plants. So let me just swing a camera around and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so if I look in my book, I've got broad beans, Grano Violetto, planted in root trainers 13th of October 2022. They were then planted in the ground on the 5th of November 2022. So sometimes it's good to keep a note of when you do these things and keep a record of what actually happens. As you can see from this one, Red Baron onions planted in seed tray, 2nd of the 1st 2023, and it failed. We got no red onions from it. I don't know why none of them came out, but not one Red Baron onion. So yeah, sometimes it's handy to keep a little note. So the beans actually start off as dried beans like this, and if you can feel these are very hard and dry. But once they're wetted, once they're hydrated, they soon start growing. In fact, beans is one of the great plants as they grow very, very quickly. So as I said in my notebook, I started mine off in root trainers, and I transferred the root trainers to planting them in the ground. And I've just harvested them all from the ground. So let me show you some of the ones that we got back. So here's the ones we harvested and we got back. We picked earlier. As you can see, these big green beans like this. I'll just peel one. You can see they have bright green beans in it. Now these beans are immature and they could have been left on the plant a bit longer, but as you would also see, they are quite different to the ones I planted. I can just get some out. These are the mature ones dried out, and these are the slightly immature ones still hydrated. So, and you can usually tell which pods have immature ones in and which have mature beans in. As you can see, this pod is beginning to turn, disintegrate, whatever you want to call it. So these should be a sort of like a mixture of partially green and partially purple. And if I peel this all the way back, you can see they're halfway between mature and immature. And if you see any pods on your plant like this, don't throw them away. These are good ones. Once you open it up, you'll find that you've got fully mature broad beans. And if these were left on the plant any longer, they would dry out to be the same as the ones that I planted. But by taking them out early and drying them out in a tray like this, it means that I can use the ground for something else, which I'm going to be putting my leeks in that bed. So I take them out and they can dry out. Now, purple and green beans, they're both the same. Usually what I do is that let me just remove this, is that I parboil them I blanch them for about 3 minutes and put them under cold water to cool them down. And as you can see, some of the purple beans are turning a bit more greenish once you do that. Similar to, I suppose, other purple beans that turn green when you cook them. But what I used to do was I would double pod these. So getting the beans out of this is the first podding. Then when you get to this stage and they soften, what you can do is you can take the inner bean out of the hard skin. That's really, really a tough skin to chew. It's not very appetising, but you can take it out and you should have some nice beans that I will usually freeze. I'll usually freeze at this stage. But because I've got so many, I'm not going to freeze all my beans at this stage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lot out like this and dry them out. Then I'll have a bag of frozen beans in the freezer like this, and whenever I get close to running out of beans in the freezer, what I shall do is I should just rehydrate these, blanch them, remove the skins and bag them for the freezer again, and that way I should have a plentiful supply of broad beans throughout the year, but without my freezer being full of broad beans. So I hope you find that interesting. If you grow broad beans and you process them in a different way, let me know. Just leave a little comment. Let me know how you process your broad beans, because it'd be interesting to see how other people use their broad beans. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all later. Bye.